Hello, this is Brett from SurvivalComms, and today we're going to do a short video on making your own Cat5 cables. This is a very common task, and it's definitely a skill that you should have in your toolbox. Category 5 or Cat5 cable comes in many different colors of the jacket. When you remove the outer jacket from a Cat5 cable, this is what you're presented with. You have 4 pairs of conductors. The conductors are 24 gauge and they're twisted, and those twists are designed to reduce interference and crosstalk. So when you're terminating these connections, it's important to disturb the twists as little as necessary. So typically you're only going to remove 1 inch or less of the jacket, just enough to fit into the RJ45 connector itself. Let's go over the colors real quick. There's 2 standards. There's 568, 568B, and the difference is the green and orange pairs are kind of switched back and forth. In all of the examples, you can see that it's striped solid, striped solid, striped solid throughout the entire connector. And it's easy to remember because you just think evens and odds. So your odds are going to be your stripes, and your evens are going to be your solid colors. Almost all the cabling you're going to do is going to be a straight through cable, which is just going to be the same on both ends. Now, if you're ever called upon to create a crossover cable, what you'll do is you'll have 1 wired on one end to the B standard and 1 wired on the other end to the A standard. What we're going to do in this video today is we're going to make a straight through type A cable. To work with your network cable, you're going to need some kind of a crimping tool, and an example of this is right here. This is a mid-range one. With this particular model here, I can work with RJ45s, RJ12s, and RJ11s, and it has various strippers to assist you with prepping your cable. Now, in order for this to work, once you've inserted your conductors into the back of your connector, you just insert it into your tool, then compress your tool, and when it compresses the tool, there's a ram, and you can see the ram drop. That ram indexes on these conductors in the connector itself and presses them down into the insulation of the conductors in the cable. Another tool that's very handy in working with this network cable is a good pair of scissors. Let's put it in on our cable. So we take our Cat5, we're going to remove about 1 inch or a little bit less of our outer jacket. You can do this with a razor blade or a Leatherman tool if this is all you got. I have my crimper, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove that, pull that away. That string I was talking about right there, we don't need that, so we're going to remove that. Now we're going to go ahead and deconsolidate our twists. Now that we've got our twist deconsolidated, we can go ahead and start ordering our cable. So we have our white, green, and green, our orange, white, followed by our solid blue, blue, white, orange, white, brown, and finally our brown. So once we lay all our conductors out in order, we double check to make sure our colors are correct. Then just trim off enough to make them all square with one another. Take our RJ45 and we're going to slide it on. Press it home into our connector like that. And now we're going to go ahead and use our crimping tool and make our connection. And we can see our completed connection here. Another extremely handy tool to have that's not very expensive is one of these cable testers. Now you can get a very nice network tester, and I would recommend one of those if you can afford it. But if you just want to get something inexpensive, something like this will suffice. You can basically divide up the transmitter and receiver and put them at opposite ends of a cable on a long run if required, or for just our little jumper here we put together, we just plug both ends in and we turn our switch on, and we can see ourselves stepping through our conductors, and all is well. Using Cat5 cable now to wire telephone is quite common, and in doing that, for like our RJ11, we have our line 1 and line 2. Line 1 is going to be our blue and white, and line 2 is going to be our orange and orange-white. And we'll simply lay these out. Like that. Just like it'd be laid out in the center of the Cat5 connector. And we'll use an RJ11 connection. Press our wires in like that. Then take our RJ11 side of our crimp plier. Make our connection. So for voice or data or whatever accessories you have that utilize modular connections, it's very important to know how to work with networking cable. I hope this helps. This is Brett from SurvivalComms. Till next time.